I rise to offer the Green support for Amendment 269 in the name of the Noble and Learned Lord Faulkner, to which I attach my name, and to offer support for all of the amendments here. Now, the Noble and Learned Lord spoke about a big group case affecting many people. I'm going to refer to a single case. In 2014, a 7-year-old boy, Zane Bangbola, went to sleep in his bed. He never woke up, and his father, sleeping nearby, has been forced to use a wheelchair since. The Fire Brigade Union, the PCSC Union, and many other people, as his father Kai's doctors were convinced that Zane was poisoned by hydrogen cyanide gas that came from a landfill site nearby, carried by floodwaters. Now, before this tragic event, the Environment Agency had actually protected its own staff in a nearby building with a special membrane in the foundations to ensure there was no risk of an event like this. There was, of course, an inquest, and at that inquest, no fewer than 6 public bodies whose actions might have been called into question were represented by the best legal counsel that money can buy, with public money. The Bangbola family were denied legal aid, so the grieving parents, sitting in a courtroom hearing the most awful possible details about their son's death, were forced to operate with only limited legal support, with funds raised from a public appeal. Now, as the Noble and Learned Lord said, the European Convention on Human Rights calls for an equality of arms in trials. There was no such equality at Zane's inquest. And I think we also need to stress the public interest concern here, because we know, and this is the case tragically in Zane's death, that the world is facing new dangers, the country is facing new dangers, and we need honesty and transparency about what those were. The weather that led to that flooding was linked to the climate emergency. Now, several years after this, Kai Bangbola said, "We need to unlock the doors for the truth to come out." This is about the death of one child, but it's about the safety of everybody, and the lack of legal aid at that inquest was a factor in the truth not coming out. Now, the family is continuing to campaign. Indeed, I was in Glasgow with them at a side event to the COP26 climate talks, and they're calling for a Zane's law to address weaknesses in our law that were deliberately introduced a decade ago, putting profits before human lives. And this is why I think the set of amendments about a public advocate are really terribly important, because I don't think we can rely on families, and indeed, of course, sometimes there won't be a family of a case where someone has died, to ensure that the courts are helping us to uncover what's actually happened in the case of tragedies. Had there been equality of arms at Zane's inquest, we might be much further down the road to getting a change in the law that we all need to keep us safe. So I would strongly urge the government to act on all of these amendments, but particularly 269 and the related amendment. Not just for Zane, not just for the Hillsborough families, but for everybody.